Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I'm gonna ask the questions. Like why you got one wrong, or what is your question?
For 7A, I put using 310.
Okay, you can sit down because I will answer that as a group. Once again, fifth graders, Kendall asked me a question which I've addressed numerous times. I will tell you this again this is probably the 6th or 7th or 8th time. Never, Ronnie Johnson and Sam, in the metric system do we ever, did I say ever, use fractions. The metric system is always decimals. You will never put 3 over 10, you'll never put 5 over 10, you will always put 0.3 or 0.5. Measuring in our standard system, it's all fractions. Measuring in the metric system, we don't use any fractions ever. Never is there 1/10, never is, it's always decimals. That's why this should be 3.3 in centimeters, because that's the centimeters, and in millimeters it's 33. Nobody likes fractions, and that's why the metric system stays away from them. More people, it's easier to deal with decimals and adding and subtracting than it is in fractions. And now, once again, Mrs. Christ was here the last time I gave you this speech. It's pretty obvious based on what I see on the board there that some of you have struggled with some of these problems, and I will say, you can't, the odds are you're not just struggling with these problems on your pretest because they're the same things that come up on every day's assignments. Your job as 5th graders is to say, I don't get why I'm getting this one wrong. I'm not a mind reader, and I'm teaching you to fish. I mean, I'm not going to look over your shoulders and say, you know, what's going on here? You have to say, I don't get this. Can you help me? Because odds are, for problem number 8, I think there's only 6 kids in here, 25 kids, and 15 of them of you listed. I don't know who you are, because I don't. But something obviously, does somebody want me to do know that one, explain, talk about that one, anything? You can say no, and I'll gladly. And there we go, Anna. Yes, I would love to do number 8 for you. Now, this is where you should kind of, think to yourself, what's going on here. 2 things about problem number 8, children. 2 things you'll notice about that. Number 1, it's improper, which is bad, and number 2, it can be reduced. So you got to fix both of those problems. What part you do first really doesn't matter. It may be easier to reduce it first than if you have 24. If you have don't worry. This has happened numerous times before. I'll find it. What problem was it again? I see it there. Don't you worry. I pushed the wrong button. It's up here, yeah. It's up here and over here. If you have 24 over 16, I would probably reduce it first because it makes it easier numbers to work with. What number goes into 24 and 16 that you can divide them both by and make them smaller numbers, Ethan? 8. So if I divide both top and bottom by 8, I end up with 3 over 2. Now it's reduced, but I can't leave it as a improper fraction. How do I change an improper fraction to a mixed number? Brady?
You put 3 or 2 and 3.
Right, you divide the bottom into the top. It's a division problem. Bottom number goes into 3 one time, and whatever your remainder is, you put over this number. It's 1 and 1/2. And that's where this answer came from. 1 and 1. 15 people. I can tell you we've had, it's been a long time. We've had this type of problem for weeks, probably, at least a couple. They come out on every assignment there. Other ones. Don't make me put the big assignments up there for no reason, kids. The names is in the front. Ethan, there we go.
Number 16.
I love it. 16.
Wait.
Number 16. Oh yeah, 11 people listed.
I don't know how I got it wrong, but I did 4 and 5/8 minus 2 and 3/8.
Did you write them up and down?
Mm-hmm. And I got 2 and 2/8 and
Let's write this down. You are wrong. Can anybody tell Ethan why 2 and 3/8 is
I
wrong?
have to reduce it.
Yep, you gotta reduce it. Welcome to the world of 5th grade. You can't leave them as unreduced fractions any longer, children. You don't go up to your parents and say, Mom, would you give me 2/16 of that pizza? Well, I'll take an eighth of it, or I'll take a half a pizza, not 15/30 of that pizza. I like your shirt. Is that you, bro?
No, it's the chicken. I wasn't wearing it for
That's gonna sum it up of all those problems I got wrong. Lily!
We do number 18 on the board.
I would love to do number 18 on this board. By the way, I saw on your quiz, many of you did this wrong. And it's a shame because really the easiest thing to do in fractions is to multiply them together. The problem is the number 5 is not a fraction yet. Lily, how do I make 5 a fraction?
Put a 1 underneath.
Right, so I change this problem and rewrite it so that it's nice. You don't write them up and down, you write multiplication ones. And then how do you multiply fractions? Leah? I'm sorry, what's that? Which gives me what? I'm pretty sure 5 times 5 is not 10. 25 over 6, which brings us to the same problem we had with that one problem we just worked out. I cannot leave this like this because it is improper. Can you reduce it? Fortunately not. No number goes into 25 and 6. But it ends up being that same division problem when we did 18/21 or 3 over 2. 6 goes into 25 4 whole times. What's left over is a 1. And we put it over this number, 4 and 1, 6. Lily, where'd you go wrong? Do you know?
I didn't, so divide the two fractions by like 25%.
Yeah. That one there, I mean, those are just, that's unfortunate that we have to become 5th graders and 6th graders and all that. Ellie Stewart,
How did you become a 9?
problem number 9. And kids, just to prep you, I spent the whole class period in 8th grade answering questions. So it takes a while, but they have learned. Oh, yeah. Somebody want to help me out on this one? This, by the way, Ellie Stewart, is just like problem number 3, I believe. Let me go back and look. Was it, I think it was 3. Was it 3? Yeah. When this asked you, Ellie, to write 1/7 so that it had a denominator of 14, did you get that right?
Yeah.
What did you do? Did you not do this? 1/7 has what number over 14? I was missing that number there. What did you do?
I did whatever pattern to the 14 to
So, with that same thought in mind, what number were we on? What one were we on?
9.
Same thing here. What number times 7 is 21?
3.
What 4 times 3 is?
12.
R and 12. Other ones. Does that help you, Ellie? Jesus Christ, you can attest again. Jonah and Lee are having just a good time back in the corner over there. Hopefully they get good grades on this test. I can only hope, Sam, can't I? All right. All right. I gotta stop this now.